Who's hungry? The Deli's open. Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Marco's Deli. I'm Marco D'Angelo, and this is powered by WagerTalk TV. We're going to take a look at a couple hockey games and an NBA game for you, and we will tell you what's going on with my plays and some big news for next week, Kentucky Derby. We'll have it all in today's show, so let's get started. And do want to thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys helping the channel out with those thumbs up and the comments that you leave. If you want to make sure you never miss one of these videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button. You'll be notified every time a new video is available. All right, let's start with some hockey action. And we're going to take a look at Saturday action. Carolina is at Ottawa. Now, the knee-jerk reaction in this one is the series is over. Carolina's up 3-0. But the truth of the matter is all three of these games were low-scoring wars. Unlike in the NBA, when teams are down 3-0, you often see the sweep. But hockey players have a different mentality. And if anything, I can see Carolina not having the same intensity that they had in Game 3 in Game 4 because they got that big 3-game cushion. Ottawa, just don't see them getting swept on their home floor. And we've got a couple things here that also point Ottawa's way. Carolina, as good as they've been this year, they're just 15-15 on the road following a win. That is the situation they are in here. Also, we see that Ottawa this year at home, if they are coming off a game where they were held to 1 goal or less, they are 4-1. In that next game. So everything lines up for me in this one to take Ottawa to send this one back to Carolina for Game 5. Let's go ahead and take Ottawa for play number 1. Play number 2, we're going to take a look at another hockey game for you. We're going to take a look at Dallas at Minnesota. Now, Dallas took back home ice with a win in Game 3. And now the pressure is squarely on Minnesota to even this series in Game 4 and send it back to Dallas all tied up. But you look at Game 3, that game could have went either way. Dallas got the 4-3 victory in overtime. But the difference in that game was Dallas scoring 3 times on the power play. They had a total of 8 power plays in that game, and they scored on 3 of them. That victory was a coin toss at the best. So I give Minnesota a big shot here. Also, if you go back to Game 2, the final score was 4-2, but that was a 1-goal game throughout. Dallas got an empty netter with 50 seconds left in the game to make it a 2-goal margin. So again, another coin flip game in which Minnesota had a good chance to win that game. It's got to be noted that Dallas, once again, 2 of their 3 legitimate goals, not counting that empty netter, were power play goals once again. They converted on 2 of 5 power plays in Game 2. So if we look back at all of these games, remember, Game 1, Minnesota was a 6-1 blowout. In that game, that 1 goal for Dallas came on a power play as well. So they've scored a total of 9 goals in this series so far, has Dallas. 6 of them have been power play goals, and 1 was an empty netter. So when you're playing even hockey, Minnesota's been the much better team. And Minnesota actually has outscored Dallas, even though they're down 2-1 in the series, 11-9. I'm going to go ahead and look for Minnesota to get this one on Saturday. I think they even the series up and send it back to Dallas all knotted up. I think Minnesota really is the better team. Even though the scoreboard says they're down 2-1, I think they've played the best hockey, and I think they get the win here. Let's go ahead and take Minnesota for game number 2. Now, before we get to the NBA, I want to tell you what's going on at WagerTalk. We got a special, guys. If you want to get a long-term package and save yourself a ton of money, check out the Summer Spectacular. You can get complete coverage through August 31st. That's every play. That's baseball, basketball, hockey, WNBA starting next month, and all of my special plays. And by special plays, I mean the Triple Crown races, the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, the Belmont, and all of those other big races that will be going on during the summer. Those are all included as bonus to my all-access clients. Pick up the Summer Spectacular for $749. That's complete coverage, everything through August 31st. You want a short-term deal? Check out the 3-day all-access package, $69. When you purchase that, I'll throw in 3 extra days. That's right. You'll get 6 days for the price of 3. That's 6 days for a total of $69. That's less than $10 a day. And guys, we've been red hot. You know those 5% major wager plays? Well, we've hit 5 of our last 6, and over the last 27 months, we're 45 and 24 with those 5% plays. My 4% plays, my second highest rated plays, 36 and 21 on the current streak. So you want to be a part of it. Head over to WagerTalk.com, go directly to my homepage at wt.buzz/MD, and you can pick up either of those packages. All right, guys. One more play for you. We're going to take a look at Detroit at Orlando in the NBA on Saturday. And Detroit bounced back nicely in Game 2 after laying a colossal egg in Game 1. I chalk up that Game 1 effort simply to the lack of playoff experience for the Pistons. They came in as the number 1 seed in the East. They were a big favorite. I think they just had, in their minds, show up and they were going to win. Well, they got a rude awakening when Orlando took it to them in Game 1. They came back in Game 2. They were focused and ready to play. The big difference in Game 2 was that defense of Detroit. They held Orlando to 32% shooting from the field. And I think that defense is going to key Game 3 because this is still a big game for Detroit. They got to win back home court advantage. And I think they do it in Game 3. We're getting the benefit of the line here. I thought this line should have been higher, but because Orlando did win that first game so convincingly, I think a lot of people are wanting to jump on Orlando, and that's giving us some line value. I'll go ahead and take that line value with Detroit and lay it with Detroit on Saturday as they grab Game 3. Hey guys, again, thanks for watching the videos. We got a lot of videos coming your way, so hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. We're going to have complete coverage next week of the Kentucky Derby. I'll be back with Kelly in Vegas and Sean Alvarez. On Monday, we're going to be doing our complete Kentucky Derby show once they draw post positions on Saturday. But also check out my channel on the WagerTalk TV. Check out the Marco D'Angelo playlist. I've got a ton of Kentucky Derby information up already. So I appreciate you guys watching all the videos. And if you want all the information on the Kentucky Derby and everything else, follow along. Be sure to give us that thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. I appreciate you guys doing that. Leave me a comment. Tell me who you like this weekend in hockey and in the NBA playoffs. And let me know where you're watching from. I always enjoy seeing where our audience is from. Until next week here on the Deli, let's eat good this weekend and cash some tickets. I'll see you next week in the Deli